Reading from Caitanya Caritamrita, Adi-Lila, Chapter 2, Text 93. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. आश्रय जानीते कही ए नव पदार्थ ए नवेरा उत्पत्ति हेतु से आश्रयार्थ. To know distinctly the ultimate shelter of everything that be, I have described the other 9 categories. The cause for the appearance of these 9 is rightly called their shelter. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has been stating the 10 topics of Bhagavatam, and that the ultimate is the Supreme Lord, Ashraya. He's the shelter of all the other 9. Creation, sub-creation, change of manus, liberation, all that. It's Krishna who is the ultimate shelter. Text 94, Krishna Eka Sarva Shraya, Krishna Sarva Dham, Krishnera Sharire, Sarva Vishvera Vishram. The personality of Godhead Sri Krishna is the shelter and abode of everything. All the universes rest in his body. So Krishna is the origin, cause of all causes. Anything that we see, anything that we are experiencing, the cause is the shelter of everything. Everything begins from him. And universes rest in his body. Yeah, in his form as Mahavishnu, everything goes back inside his body. He's the origin of Mahavishnu. Dashame Dashamam Lakshyam Ashrita Ashraya Vigraham Shri Krishna Kyam Param Dhama Jagadama Nama Mitat. The 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam reveals the 10th object, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the shelter of all surrendered souls. He's known as Sri Krishna, and he is the ultimate source of all the universes. Let me offer my obeisances unto him. This quotation comes from Sridhar Swami's commentary on the first verse of the 10th canto, chapter 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Krishna, you see the first 9 cantos, first 3 cantos specifically deal with creation, sub-creation. Then gradually it's going to build up, the other topics will be spoken. Then comes the Supreme Lord in the 10th canto. So we can understand his position that, oh yes, he is the shelter of everything. Everything is beginning from him. And it is my duty to surrender unto Krishna. Otherwise, I will still be loitering around here in this material world till the time I don't surrender to him. 96. Krishnera Swarup Ar Shakti Traya Gyan Yan Rahaya Tanra Nahi Krishnete Agyan. One who knows the real feature of Sri Krishna and his 3 different energies cannot remain ignorant about him. So we should know who we are surrendering to. We should have the knowledge. Oh, why should I surrender to Krishna? So the more we get to hear about him, automatically then the knowledge will come. Oh yes, he's great and I'm not, He's God and I'm not. So that's the reason we need to keep hearing. Srila Jiva Goswami states in his Bhagavad Sandarbha 16 that by his potencies, which act in natural sequences beyond the scope of the speculative human mind, the supreme transcendence, the summum bonum, eternally and simultaneously exists in 4 transcendental features: his personality, his impersonal effulgence, particles of his potency, the living beings, and the principal cause of all causes. So Srila Jiva Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, he in his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, they are called the Sat Sandarbhas, and one of the Sandarbha is called the Bhagavad Sandarbha, which deals with the Supreme Lord Krishna. And then in that, he has said that, okay, which act in natural sequences beyond the scope of speculative human mind. Now, Krishna's activities are beyond our imagination, beyond our imagination. How can he be sitting in his mother's lap and he opens the mouth and she can see all the universes inside him and she can see herself inside him? Now, according to our logical mind will say it can't be done. But why it can't be done? God is inconceivable. He has these potencies. How can we limit him to our tiny, limited brains, tiny mind? So he exists in 4 transcendental features. What are his 4 features? One is his he himself, the person, Krishna, the absolute truth. Then is his the Brahma Jyoti that's coming from him. Then the particles of his potency, that is us. We are parts and parcels of Krishna. He is Satchidananda, we are Satchidananda. We are part of Krishna and the principal cause of all causes. So the Supreme Whole is compared to the sun, which also exists in 4 features, namely the personality of Godhead, the glare of his glowing sphere, the sun rays inside the sun planet, and the sun's reflections in many other objects. So how is the sun? There is a sun god. That's one feature of him. We also call him the sun, right? Surya Dev. He's there. Then he has the sun planet. That's different than him. It's a planet. And then there is light inside there is sunshine, right? There's sunshine, which is coming. That's his 3rd feature. And then when we see the sun's reflection, then also we see, oh, look at the sun, when we are seeing the reflection of the sun. So the ambition to corroborate the existence of the transcendent absolute truth by limited conjectural endeavors cannot be fulfilled because he is beyond the scope of our limited speculative minds. In an honest search for truth, we must admit that his powers are inconceivable to our tiny brains. So Krishna is inconceivable. We cannot understand, but we have to accept God has inconceivable powers. The exploration of space has demanded the work of the greatest scientists of the world. Yet there are countless problems regarding even fundamental knowledge of the material creation that bewilder the scientists who confront them. Such material knowledge is far removed from the spiritual nature, and therefore the acts and arrangements of absolute truth are beyond all doubts inconceivable. So, for example, the scientists, we are trying to go to Mars or trying to explore different planets, but are we able to understand how one seed has millions of trees inside it and how to create that seed? No, we are not able to. But if we grow that seed, a tree will come out, so many fruits, so many different seeds. Again, we sow them, so many, like that, we can have millions of trees just from one tiny seed. And that's bewildering. No? That's the inconceivable potency of Krishna. It's inconceivable how so many trees are there inside one seed. The potency is there. So that is inconceivable, and we have to accept it. We have to accept that God has inconceivable potencies. He is not like us. We are very limited. We are very tiny. We are trying to understand him by our tiny brains. But the only way we can understand him is when we begin to hear about him, when we begin to chant his name. So in that way, we are serving him. By hearing about him, we are serving him with our ears. When we are chanting, we are serving him with our tongue. And then when we are serving him, then he reveals himself to us. So it's a we do the endeavor, and then we receive the knowledge from Krishna. Everything is revealed from within. Is that okay? Let's stop here for today. It's a very technical part. So any questions, clarifications, comments? It's saying basically that the Supreme Lord, he's there, he's a person, and then there is a light coming from him. That's his impersonal Brahma Jyoti. And then there's a Paramatma feature of his. Then we are his tiny living entities. We are also parts of him. And then, he has his different energies. And everything, this is the complete whole, the complete supreme whole, everything. Is that okay? Bewildering? Okay, so we'll stop here for today. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.